Now on WKYT Midmorning, the family of a murdered Letcher County man are begging the public to help find his killer. Samsung has announced they will no longer be making Galaxy Note 7s. Coming up, we'll look at what led the tech company's drastic decision. And UK's new basketball season posters have been unveiled. How you can get yours just ahead on Midmorning.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us for Midmorning. I'm Andrea Walker. Bill and Barbara have the morning off. Well, we have entered into an absolutely beautiful pattern of weather outside, and it looks like that's going to stick around for the foreseeable future. Let's head on over to meteorologist Micah Harris for an early look at your forecast.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic the next couple of days. Now, we'll tell you this, we get off toward your Thursday and Friday. It changes a bit, but it's actually a pretty decent change. Live sky camera, there's your shot. Milky clouds out and about, and really don't expect any rain out of those. There's just upper level clouds. They never really harm us. 58 degrees right now in Lexington. We're still at 49 in Middlesboro, but look at Monticello down south at 64 degrees. So we're warming up pretty nicely. We'll be right around 74 later on this afternoon. Pretty great weather in store. The focus of the forecast is milder now, so we're above average now, but boy, do we drop it off the map as we head towards your Thursday and Friday. I'll show you those temperatures also. Finally, a rain chance in there. I'll have that coming up in a few minutes.
Micah, thank you very much. In the news this morning, family members of a murdered Kentucky man are asking for help finding his killer this morning. State police say Michael Lowe was stabbed to death in his Letcher County apartment last week. A family member went to check on him and found him dead. Initially, investigators say they weren't sure what happened to Lowe. An autopsy eventually revealed he was murdered. Lowe's family says he had a big heart, and it's hard to imagine why someone would kill him.
The who might not surprise me, but the why probably would, you know, because of the person he is. It's just hard to wrap your hands around, you know what I'm saying?
Police have no leads at this time. The family is asking for anyone with information to please come forward. The Letcher Funeral Home in Whitesburg is currently taking donations for the family. A group of EKU students became the victims of a costly crime during a school trip to St. Louis. The students were in St. Louis for the National Recreation and Park Convention, but on the last day of their trip, thieves broke into their van while they were visiting a museum. The students say thousands of dollars worth of personal belongings were taken. Police do have surveillance video of the crime. So far, no arrests have been made. The group has since started a GoFundMe page to refund some of the money they lost. We have a link to that page right now on WKYT.com. Well, the troubles just continue for Samsung. The tech company now says it's ending production of its Galaxy Note 7 phones permanently. Hannah Daniels tells us more about what prompted the world's top smartphone maker to take such a drastic move.
Turn off your Galaxy Note 7 smartphone now and return it. That's the message from both Samsung and federal regulators after some of the phones, including replacement models, started spontaneously igniting.
Look over and my phone's on fire.
Michael Claring traded in his first Galaxy Note 7 a week earlier after Samsung recalled 2.5 million of the fire-prone phones.
Initially, we thought it was simply a battery from a specific battery supplier, but these replacement phones have batteries from a different supplier. Then obviously the issue is somewhere else.
On Monday, the FAA told airline passengers that they should not use or charge Note 7s or even stow them and check luggage after a smoking phone forced a Southwest flight to be evacuated last week.
I heard some popping that sounded like a Ziploc bag popping open, and looked around to see what that was, and there was smoke just billowing, pouring out of my pocket.
Analysts estimate the halt in production could cost the company some $17 billion. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
The company is now offering customers a refund or an exchange for other Samsung products. Well, it turns out there is more bad news for Bluebell. The company is recalling all of its ice cream that has cookie dough from a particular supplier. Turns out the cookie dough might be contaminated with listeria. The Bluebell recall involves these flavors: chocolate chip cookie dough, Cookie Two-Step, Blue Monster, and Crazy Cookie Dough. The flavors were distributed to 16 states, including Kentucky. And we are happy to report this morning that the 4-year-old Florida girl at the center of an Amber Alert has been reunited with her family. The Amber Alert was issued for Rebecca Lewis after family members say she was taken from her home in Lakeland, Florida on Saturday. Police say a family friend, 31-year-old West Hoggs, took the child. After more than 24 hours on the run, police found them in Memphis yesterday. The little girl was safe and Hogg has been placed under arrest. A Kentucky mother is trying to bring her son home after he was killed in a Las Vegas jail. A Nevada coroner says 25-year-old Jeremy Bowling of Shelbyville was strangled and beaten to death.
He was alive when he went in there and he's dead now. He was just an outgoing, loving child that wanted to do a change.
Bowling's mother said he moved to Vegas earlier this year. Police have charged his cellmate with his murder. In August, Bowling pleaded guilty to a felony charge of attempted grand larceny. His mother is now trying to raise money to bring her son's body back to Kentucky. Search teams will be back at a Kentucky lake today searching for a missing man. Spencer Huddleston hasn't been seen since Friday. Family members say he left to go on a fishing trip on Barren River Lake and never came back. Police found Huddleston's car near the lake yesterday. They searched the lake late last night and will do so again today. A 12-year-old boy is recovering after police found him drunk outside an Anderson County shopping center. Lawrenceburg police tell us a woman called 911 after finding the child with a drink in his hand outside a Dollar General store. Police believe 12-year-olds stole the drink from inside the store. They say they are looking into a shoplifting charge, but for right now, they're just focused on the child's well-being.
When you see a kid with problems, whether they're at home or at school or wherever, that push them to the point of doing something like this, it's just sad. You just really, you really care about the children and you want that child to get help.
So far, police have not released any information on the boy's parents. A Kentucky Air National Guardsman is walking more than 100 miles in honor of a fallen friend. Captain Nathan Tingle left Louisville Sunday. He's walking along US 60 with a rucksack weighing about 90 pounds all the way to Moorhead. Tingle says the Ruck for Colin honors Navy SEAL Colin Thomas, a Moorhead native who died in Afghanistan 6 years ago. Tingle first made the 140-mile trek 2 years ago, and each time he raises money for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, which provides scholarships for children of fallen service members. A Lexington business will hold a fundraiser today to help a sick Madison County volunteer firefighter. Greg Betzworth volunteers for the Red Lick Fire Department, but over the last 2 years, Betzworth has battled major health issues. Blood tests revealed his body has trouble producing red blood cells. Today, a close family friend is holding a fundraiser to help the husband and father of 2. It will be at the Noodles & Company on Nicholasville Road in Lexington. A portion of today's sales will go directly to the Betzworth's family. A GoFundMe page has also been set up if you can't make it there today. You can find that link right now on WKYT.com. All right, UK fans, we've got good news for you. The team's posters for the upcoming basketball season have been unveiled. The posters will first be distributed at Big Blue Madness on Friday. Beginning Saturday, fans can pick them up at any Kroger location throughout the state. There are 4 versions of this year's poster. Each poster is double-sided with faces of 2 members of the team on each side and the season schedule in between. Now, in addition to the players, one of the 4 posters features John Calipari and Adolph Rupp, which could be and probably will be a fan favorite. And if you want to vote in November, the deadline to register is here. Election Day is now less than 30 days away, and today is the last day to register to vote in Kentucky. If you're not registered to vote, you have until 4 o'clock this afternoon to do so. We have more information on how to register right now on WKYT.com. Keep it here on Mid-Morning. We are just getting started. Coming up, he's now known as the man in the red sweater. Ken Bone tells what was behind his now famous last-minute clothing choice for the presidential election. This story, you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, you got to love the guy. Live sky camera, there's your shot outside. Mixture of sun and clouds. No rain today nor tomorrow, but as we head towards your Thursday, there is a chance. But is it a good chance? I'm going to have that cold front of your forecast coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
You know, we have some of those upper-level clouds laying around, and boy, early this morning, they were fantastic pictures that you guys sent me there on Twitter. Just a phenomenal start to the day. 55 degrees right now in Frankfort. Still, those clouds are laying around. We'll start to see those move out as we go through the day as that system to the north of us tracks into the Great Lakes. But what it's doing is it's kind of limiting us from really rising that fast. We're there in the 50s early this morning. It's It's not a bad start, but it's still relatively cool outside, and we have a lot of sunshine with those few clouds. Once those clouds move on out, then we'll see those temperatures jump pretty dramatically. We're at 74 degrees later on this afternoon, and that is a good day in store. Typically, we're there around 70 degrees, but we're going to be a little bit above that. And a little bit above, 70 degrees is still very nice. We head off toward the evening hours, just a little on the cool side. Probably not patio weather once the sun does set, heading out to dinner later on this evening, but nonetheless, it's nice. So the next 48 hours, I see no problems whatsoever. Late in the week, you go off toward Thursday and Friday. That's when you'll start to get a chill in the air because the front rolls on through. But this is another front that we just don't see a lot of rain out of this. There is a decent shot, I would say, on Thursday, 30–40%. But still, obviously, you throw those percentages in and you're still looking at most staying dry. Even if you do get hit with the rain on Thursday, it's still not a lot. 1/10 of an inch, 2/10 of an inch, that's it. Pleasant weekend, though. Once that front moves on out, then the warmer air slides back on in. We're talking 70s there for the weekend, too. So let's talk about your 7-day forecast and kind of break it down for you. Next couple of days, talking mid-70s. Today, we just got to get the clouds on out of here to really see those temperatures ramp up. But nonetheless, we will feel nice later on this afternoon. Off towards your Wednesday looks great. Thursday, that's where those couple of showers move on in. Remember, not everybody sees the rain, but if you do, it's going to be kind of a chilly rain. We're sitting there in the mid-60s. That goes for Friday, too. Friday night football looks good. Can't rule out maybe a stray sprinkle, but for the most part, we're going to stay dry. It's going to be a pretty chilly evening there for Friday night football, too. Saturday, Sunday look much better. Keeneland looks great. A lot of these events and festivals look fantastic. So really for the weekend, it's not all that bad. And next couple of days aren't bad either. It's just once we hit Thursday and Friday. That's when things change just a bit. It's not a dramatic change, but it is there in the forecast.
You can tell you want rain when you put a 10% chance on Saturday.
Going,
it's just that little bit. He's still
Bring
hoping.
me something over my house. I'll take anything.
All right, you're going to like this next story. We've already talked about this. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump's favorable ratings may or may not have changed after Sunday's debate, but here is what we do know. Social media appears to have overwhelmingly favorable opinions about one audience member.
This guy.
His name is Ken Bone. You know him. He is now a meme. Bone's question to Clinton and Trump was about energy policy, but his instant internet fame seemed to be more a result of his red cardigan, black rimmed glasses, and likable personality. Bone says that red sweater was actually a last-minute decision.
I had an olive-colored suit that I had picked out for the day. That's my favorite suit. And apparently I've gained a few pounds since the last time I wore it. And when I got in my car to leave for the debate, I tore the seat out of the pants.
Oh, he just never gets old. He is wonderful. Within minutes of the debate, someone created a Ken Bone Facebook page and, of course, a parody Twitter account. And this is a really funny story. Bone says before the debate, he had just 7 Twitter followers, and 2 of those were his grandmother, both of them because she forgot one of her passwords and had to make a new account. And we've already heard word Ken Bone is going to be the biggest Halloween costume of the year. I'm calling it right now, right here. You heard it here. All right, a cyclone is about to hit Broadway. CBS celebrates 30 years at the top of the daytime TV, and a popular actress gets arrested. Suzanne Marquez has your eye on entertainment.
Divergent actress Shailene Woodley was arrested for taking part in a protest over the Dakota Access Pipeline. The 24-year-old was part of a demonstration on behalf of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, which calls the pipeline destructive. On Sunday, a federal appeals court removed an injunction that halted work on the project. And the brightest stars of CBS daytime TV were shining at the Paley Center for Media to celebrate 30 years on top of the ratings. The ladies of the talk joined The Price is Right's Drew Carey and CBS soap stars to look back on the network's impact on daytime TV. So you're part of this 30 years on top. How does that feel?
I feel like a third as good as I think I should feel.
The exhibit, CBS Daytime #1 for 30 years, runs through November. In New York, the curtain went up on the new comedy Oh Hello on Broadway. Nick Kroll and John Mulaney play 70-something New Yorkers in a partly unscripted laugh fest similar to fans of Comedy Central. And also in New York, a new musical about a most unusual roller coaster ride is about to open. The cast of Ride the Cyclone includes Taylor Lauderman, who says the show's life and death themes affected her personally.
It just left me appreciating life itself, you know.
Ride the Cyclone opens December 1st. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still to come on Mid-Morning, victims of domestic violence will get their smile back thanks to the UK College of Dentistry. Find out about Strut Your Smile next. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $49 million, and tomorrow night's Powerball jackpot, $107 million. Welcome back into Mid-Morning. The time now is 10:20 on your Tuesday. The UK College of Dentistry is giving back smiles that have been taken away as a result of domestic violence. With details about Strut Your Smile, we're joined now by Beth Goebel, president of the UK College of Dentistry's American Association of Women Dentists, along with Mackenzie Bentley with Strut Your Smile. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, so first of all, just give us a brief summary of what Strut Your Smile is all about.
So this is our 10th year doing this, and Strut Your Smile raises money to provide dental treatment to domestic violence survivors living at Greenhouse 17 here in Lexington.
And then what is the actual event?
So the actual event is a silent auction and fashion show put together by our organization at school, and each year we've raised over $10,000 going towards this fund, so it's been really successful in the past.
That's wonderful, $10,000.
Yeah.
And this is the 10th anniversary.
That's right. So hopefully this will be the biggest one yet, so we'd love to have the public come out and support us and be able to raise a lot of money for these so deserving ladies.
So how did these women get connected with you guys?
So we've actually partnered with Greenhouse 17 to do to take food to them and to provide oral hygiene kind of classes out there with them. And we recognize that so much of the violence is to the head and neck, and so we wanted to offer our services, and through this event we're able to raise money for that, so it's been really great.
That's wonderful. And then Mackenzie, tell me, how do people get tickets? How much are they? Who should come?
Well, tickets are available at the door of the event. It's $20 per person or $35 per couple. We have a student rate of $15, so we are hoping that even the younger crowd will come through.
Sure.
It's a great event. We have a lot of great people who donated to the silent auction. We have the Malacotes, which is local photography, a lot of things for the guys and the girls and the kids, so it'll be a great event.
A little something for everybody.
Exactly.
And then you were telling me that you actually have treated some of these women.
That's right.
I mean, what is their reaction to this event? How appreciative are they about this?
In the past, we've had survivors come and speak at the event, and you can just tell that getting their smile back, changes their lives. It allows them to kind of have a fresh start. To be able to put a smile on again is, you can't change that, and it's just so special. So I was actually able to give a woman her front teeth back, and that just changed dentistry for me, and it made it all worth it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. That's a very touching story, I'm sure. Now, real quick, let's go through all the nitty-gritty details.
Yes.
When, where?
So this year, it's actually going to be at Manchester Music Hall this Saturday at 6 p.m. It'll probably last about 3 hours, and we've got food trucks and a cash bar, so come out ready to eat and drink and have fun. And this year we're actually sponsored by White Groom Maggard Orthodontics, so we're really appreciative for them. So all of the proceeds from the event will go directly to this dental treatment.
Can't make it happen without those sponsors, so we
right.
certainly thank them. And I thank you two ladies for coming in. It sounds like a fantastic event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We wish you luck.
Thank you so much.
Keep it here on Mid-Morning. We're checking in with Mr. Food Test Kitchen coming up next. Now that it's beginning to feel more like fall outside, it's time to make something sweet. Today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, we've got pumpkin pecan cobbler. Yum.
We're a country that loves our pumpkin. Every year in the U.S., we produce more than 1.6 billion pounds of pumpkin. That's billion, with a B. As a matter of fact, whether we get our pumpkin fix from a latte, a steaming bowl of cream of pumpkin soup, or in our desserts, you can bet it'll be comforting. And if you're craving that comforting taste right now, we have a pumpkin cobbler that's truly irresistible. Let me show you how easy. We start out by combining canned pumpkin with some milk, a bit of melted butter, and a splash of vanilla. After it's mixed, we stir in some basic dry ingredients. When the batter is smooth, we pour it into a baking dish. On top of this goes a mixture of white and brown sugar, tossed with a few chopped pecans. Now we pour some hot water on it. And no, we don't have to stir it before popping it in the oven. Once it's bubbling hot, it's ready to serve with a big scoop of ice cream or with a dollop of whipped cream. Maybe drizzle it with some caramel sauce as a double bonus. So if you're craving pumpkin, now's the time to go online to get our recipe for pumpkin pecan cobbler. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a pumpkin-y way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
That looks really good.
Really good. I'll take the ice cream.
Anything pumpkin or pecan, I love them both. Are you pecan or pecan?
Actually, pecan, yeah.
Me
I
too.
never really thought about it because I don't eat those, but you know what?
We're
You made me
pecan
think about it.
people.
You make me think in the mornings, man. 7-day forecast. Here's the look. 74 degrees today, 76 tomorrow. Today and tomorrow, you have a mixture of sun and clouds. Really good looking days. And then Thursday is the big front we're going to be focusing in on at noon.
All right, good deal. Thank you, Micah. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here at noon.